Rogers and Charles Durning make it a showdown that's got everybody singing.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Calgary. I'm Mark Curtis.
And I'm Wendy Lubovich, coming to you live via News Star 5. We'll have all the excitement and the splendor of the opening ceremonies.
And I'm Mark Sapelsa here in the Twin Cities. It's been a day for all seasons. Take a look at how the Metrodome has been converted into a beach party. We'll tell you why. And we'll visit a Wisconsin community that's trying to become friends with UFOs. These stories as we beam you up to Eyewitness News at 6 o'clock.
Another 30 seconds of common sense. The Hyundai XL GLS versus the Sentra GXE, the Mazda 323 Luxury, or the Corolla LE. Ready? Air conditioning, check. Power sunroof, check. AM/FM cassette, check. Alloy wheels, check. Now check this. The Hyundai XL GLS with all these goodies still costs less than the competition without any of the goodies. Check for yourself.
Test drive an XL at your Twin Cities Hyundai dealer. We sell cars that make sense.
The 1988 Winter Olympic Games today marked the beginning, and we're ready to bring you every exciting day. From here in Calgary, hi everybody, I'm Mark Curtis.
And I'm Wendy Lubovich. As you are watching the excitement of the hockey games tonight, remember that tomorrow night, Mark and I will be hosting a special show, the Minnesota Connection. It's called Eyewitness to Calgary, and it's starting Monday at 6:30 right here on Channel 5.
This child doesn't have AIDS, and hopefully he never will. But he will be impacted by the disease for the rest of his life. Experts say that nearly all of us, no matter how innocent, will be touched by AIDS. And unfortunately, many Minnesotans are realizing the truth in that prediction. Dr. Michael Breen will take an in-depth look at those people and some problems that may surprise you. A special assignment report beginning Wednesday at 10.
You're watching KSTP TV, Minnesota's News Channel 5.
Live from Minnesota's news channel, KSTP Channel 5, Mike Binkley, Karen Balloon, and Mark Stevens bring you Eyewitness News.
With beautiful color, pageantry, the whole bit, athletes from all over the world parade past thousands of cheering fans. The glittering start to the 1988 Winter Olympics in the Canadian city of Calgary. Among them, 17 Minnesotans who will do their best to grab the gold and a spotlight at this international sports spectacle. Good evening, everyone. I'm Mark Sapelsa. Mike Binkley is on assignment in Calgary. All eyes are on Calgary today as the opening ceremonies mark the start of 2 weeks filled with exciting sports events. Our coverage begins live via News Star with Wendy Lubovich and Mark Curtis. And folks, those folks really know how to open things up well in that city. Looking good today.
Hello, Mark. Welcome to Calgary, everyone, live via News Star 5. We're very happy today to tell you all about the very first Olympic event, opening ceremonies.
And what a dazzling way to begin. You know, needless to say, I think every country feels it. You could feel it back in Los Angeles during the summer of '84, and you could certainly feel it here today. The pride of a country hosting the Olympics, and I think that feeling, which has been building here for the last year or so, came to a peak during today's opening ceremonies. Immediately, let's take you to Rob Lear, who's right outside of the Olympic Village. And Rob, I watched the opening ceremonies on TV, and I had goosebumps. I can just imagine what it must have been like being there yourself today.
It really was impressive, Mark. Calgary not only welcomed the world here today, they wowed all of us. They staged a spectacular show. You know, we've covered a lot of sporting events, but I don't think any that reveals an athlete's pride in his country like an opening ceremonies here at the Olympics. You could say the world gathered here as a nation today, and they have now share a feeling of renewed friendship.
You know, I've never imagined anything like this before, and I'm just happy to be here.
Here is Calgary, where today at McMahon Stadium, the world's athletic elite went on parade. 57 countries marched together, shared this special spotlight together on an international stage made available only every 4 years. The opening ceremonies of the 15th Winter Games, a grand beginning to what promises to be a grand 16-day spectacle of games on snow and ice.
This will be my fourth parade, and I still get a little bit choked up when I start walking in because I know that the whole world is looking at the best athletes and the best products throughout the world, and I'm really excited for it.
Donning full-length wool coats, turtlenecks, and fashionable headgear, U.S. athletes were confronted with perhaps the first Olympic challenge of these games, how to hold on to their hat.
Well, the hat fits?
Barely. The wind's going to blow it off, I swear.
Is this the proud moment you thought it might be?
It is. It's great.
Our state athletes were proud to be a part of it, and so were some of the parents of our Minnesota athletes.
We don't know if he'll get on the ice, but no matter what happens, we're proud of John Blue, and we want to thank the people back in Minnesota, too, because John would have never had a shot at the Olympics if he hadn't attended the University of Minnesota.
Today is a proud and patriotic day for all athletes and coaches who become ambassadors, for friends and family who watch the lighting of the Olympic torch with a warm feeling already in their heart.
As fashionable as the hats may have looked, most of the Minnesota athletes complained today that their ears got cold, but all were grateful that for the first time in Winter Olympic history, they were all able to sit through the ceremonies and not have to stand. Certainly a terrific day at McMahon Stadium. Mark, Wendy?
Rob, I can relate to the cold ears, and I'll see you at the hockey game tonight.
All right.
Conspicuously absent from today's opening ceremonies was the U.S. hockey team. Coming up a little bit later in sports, we'll tell you why they weren't there and how they spent the day. Wendy?
That's a pretty good story, Tool. You know, Mark, the excitement leading up to today's opening ceremony really began a couple of months ago. Today in Calgary, the streets absolutely came alive as people hoped to get a glimpse of a magical flame that passed its way into McMahon Stadium.
Smile! Wave your torch! Wave your torch!
Children and adults lined the streets of Calgary for the sight of a lifetime. They brought along hand torches of tinfoil, personal tributes to a spectacle that had become their own. They were all here to catch a glimpse, a fleeting glance of the Olympic torch, a flame that had come to stand for international pride. The torch had been traveling across Canada for 3 months, the longest torch relay in Olympic history. And this was to be the finale, and everyone wanted to have a part. They ignited cauldrons along the way, and from that very same flame, onlookers could then light their own personal torches. It is a flame that has touched nearly everyone in this nation, a small, simple light, a glimmer of Canadian pride. Now, the Olympic torch was also met today by about 400 people protesting the government's treatment of the Lubicon Indian tribe. Now, some waving protesters have met the flame at the various locations throughout its 11,000-mile journey across Canada. They are demonstrating against the government's refusal to negotiate a 48-year-old land claim by the Lubicon tribe. Well, we have spotted another group here in the crowd at Calgary, and they happen to have the last names of Latimer and Fraser. Sound familiar? Well, coming up, we will tell you what they are doing here in Calgary. Don't go away.
Hey, Georgie, baby, congrats! Highland's going all out to celebrate your birthday.
Well, it's only for a few days.
Georgie, people are saving big at Highland just because of you. That's a great gig, sweetheart.
Now through Monday, save on this 19-inch color TV with automatic fine-tuning, just $157 during Highland's George Washington's birthday sale.
Hope to see you there, Ben. After all, a penny saved is a penny earned.
And he who hesitates is lost.
And a stitch in time saves 9.
And never eat spinach with a stranger.
Fred has a hang-up. Fred has a closet full of hang-ups. Fred needs Closets by Design. Closets by Design can double or triple the capacity of your closets. Our all-wood systems are completely adjustable and sale price now from just $249. Bring in your closet measurements or call us for an in-home consultation at 829-5626. Closets by Design.
Sooner or later, keeping the old car running just isn't worth it. Not when Chrysler, Plymouth, and Dodge dealers are offering up to $1,000 cash back on select imports and savings of hundreds more on specially equipped models. On Colt hatchbacks, Vista wagons, Ram 50 pickups, and Conquest TSIs. So instead of this, see your Chrysler, Plymouth, or Dodge dealers before these great import deals expire.
Here in Calgary, there is quite a large delegation of Twin Cityans, and we are not necessarily talking about athletes. The mayors of Minneapolis and St. Paul are here with other Minnesota officials to meet with members of the United States Olympic Committee. Their goal? To encourage members to vote for the Twin Cities as the site of the 1996 Summer Olympic Games. So far, Twin Cities delegates say they've been receiving very positive reactions.
If you don't make a go at it, you're never going to have a chance. I think the thing that we feel comfortable with is the people we've talked to are very impressed with the facilities in the Twin Cities, and particularly impressed with the people, because it's about the people, about all the people you see today throughout Calgary and the excitement that they've been able to generate.
Minneapolis Mayor Don Frazier says, in a way, he's here in Calgary to shake a lot of hands and get votes.
We talk to them about all of our strengths and virtues and just let them know that we're here and that we're interested. I think that makes a difference.
Now, the delegation members will be attending receptions and events the whole time they are here, and they will also be meeting up with Minnesota corporations who possibly could become Olympic sponsors if indeed Minneapolis and St. Paul are chosen for the Summer Games of 1996. And Mark, I think the Twin Cities would be great hosts.
Oh, I'd love to see it happen, but you know what? I realized we made a big mistake yesterday. Mark, we were talking about the weather and how warm it was here yesterday. It's ice cold today. We'll have more in just a little bit.
It serves you too right. All right, we'll talk to you in a little bit. Other news here at home. The leadership of Northwest Airlines Flight Attendants Union is trying to chart the course for a possible strike. More than 6,000 flight attendants were supposed to begin a week-long strike authorization vote starting today, but a legal technicality has put that off for a week. When the voting does start, these flight attendants hope it sends yet another signal to management that they want common rules for former Republic flight attendants who came on board when Republic and Northwest merged. Too much traffic has been merging in downtown Minneapolis, so officials have given the green light to a plan designed to accelerate the traffic flow there. The plan would make Lake Street a one-way to the east and Lagoon Avenue one-way to the west. You can see here how the traffic will be rerouted starting early next year. The plan costs about $2 million to finish. The project includes money for resurfacing this roadway. The proposed Commitment to Focus program for the University of Minnesota got another airing today. Newspaper officials from around the state heard directly from U of M President Ken Keller about the 5-year program. Commitment to Focus calls for a 21% reduction in undergraduate students, splitting the College of Liberal Arts into 2 units and a major reallocation of funding. Later, we talked to the newspaper representatives about their reaction to Commitment to Focus.
Recent events, but yeah, I think he did. I think that the approach that they're taking is well.
When he talks about the large student numbers that are occurring and the expenses associated with those numbers, I think he's working out a system that'll help the university to deal on both ends of the spectrum.
The university's Board of Regents has scheduled a public hearing on the plan for March the 10th. Some folks in Wisconsin have an educational plan of a different sort. A newly founded group wants to build a landing strip and invite UFOs, that's right, unidentified flying objects, to touch down there. The organization's chosen the small town of Elmwood, Wisconsin as the site for the landing strip because so many people in the town believe they've seen UFOs. Now today, town folks filled the school gym to hear the plan about this UFO site center.
It will be lighted border. Within this border of lights, we intend to transmit a visual message that will be clearly understood, in our opinion, to the advanced civilizations that have been observing our planet for many years as meant for them.
Weber says it'll cost $1 million to build the landing site, but so far, his organization hasn't raised any money. Well, if E.T. or some other alien did land, they'd like the weather forecast for tomorrow's Valentine's Day. Karen Falloon will join us with the details, and we're going to take you to a place in Minneapolis where the weather is, well, downright balmy. That and much more live via News Star from Calgary, so don't go away.
Here's what farmers have to say about the grass control they get with Eradicane.
Since we've switched to Eradicane, we're enjoying a 100% grass control. We have a big problem with foxtail, and Eradicane is doing a wonderful job.
I had excellent control over giant foxtail and a few broadleaf weeds. When you consider the cost savings, we're going to have to look at it next year, too.
For better grass control than Dual or Lasso, farmers like you are switching to Eradicane.
Savings as big as Texas continue in celebration of 4 new Wick stores in Dallas-Fort Worth with a spectacular half-price bedroom sale. Save $800 on this 4-piece contemporary oak bedroom, now only $799.98. Save $800 on this 5-piece country bedroom, also only $799.98. And no payments or finance charges for 90 days when you use or open a Wix charge.
Wix, surprisingly Wix.
I'm so happy today.
What you need from a radio station changes depending on when it is, where you're headed, or what you're doing. And through the different times of your day and the different places you have to stay, there's one radio station to turn to every step of the way. KS95 FM, the #1 music station under the sun, is 95 and sunny all day long.
Sometimes you just can't let the cold weather stand in the way of a good time out on the beach. These guys found some sand to play in while grown-ups were having fun on the surfboard. And this particular man says he'll let you decide if this is his first time on that board.
It's fun, yeah. I enjoy the sand, the heat, and the sailing.
Now, all this indoor fun is going on at the Metrodome, Minneapolis. It's called Beach Break. Continues through tomorrow. So grab your towel, get the copper tone, and head in for the great indoors. Or head to Calgary, actually.
Yes, it's going to be warming up there. Mark and Wendy will be glad to hear that. They did have rather windy conditions today, a little bit of snow, but tonight's forecast for Calgary, less wind, a few flurries, and a low around 10 degrees, and then it starts to warm up again tomorrow. A few spots of sunshine in the morning, clouds in the afternoon, a high around 30.
They complain to me again, I'm cutting them off.
That's right. Calgary, up toward Calgary, and you can see it on the satellite picture. I marked Calgary there for you. They had some snow, and they had quite a bit of wind and cold, and all that snow, wind, and cold is headed in our direction because of the low-pressure system, which finally, after 3 days, has begun to move. This low-pressure system is sitting up over Saskatchewan, and it's going to slide to the southeast right through central Minnesota. Out ahead of that system today, we have now increasing winds, mild temperatures, but clouds on and off throughout the day. Right now, we do have cloudy skies, and the temperature at the moment is 18 degrees. The dew point 17, the relative humidity 96%. Winds are out of the southeast, though, at 20 miles an hour, so the wind chill is 13 below, and the pressure is finally falling. Our high temperature today has been 20 degrees so far, and I say so far because overnight tonight the temperatures will continue rising right into the 20s. The low to start out the morning, 0, and we've had just a trace of snowfall. By tomorrow, that low pressure will be moving into northern Wisconsin. On the backside, rather windy conditions. A high temperature will be in the morning, and the temperature will start falling in the afternoon. And with the windy conditions and the falling snow, that presents somewhat of a problem for portions of Minnesota. In fact, winter storm watches are out for the southern portion of the state, through western Minnesota, into the northwestern sections, and throughout the eastern Dakotas. And this is for the possibility of blowing snow later on tonight and throughout the day on Sunday. In fact, 20 to 40 mile an hour winds will whip that snow around, and that could cause near blizzard conditions. For tonight here in the Twin Cities, a few sprinkles and flurries. Snow developing late tonight with rising temperatures. Winds will continue out of the southeast at 10 to 20 miles an hour. Waking up, light snow and 28 degrees. But then things start to fall off. 28 degrees falling to 12 degrees by late afternoon. Say we'll get about 2 inches of snow, windy and much colder. Those winds will be out of the northwest, 20 to 30 miles an hour by late morning. And then we clear out on Sunday night. The temperatures go just below 0, 3 below to 8 below. And on Monday, partly cloudy, temperatures in the low to mid-teens. Looking ahead, chance of snow again on Tuesday, partly cloudy Wednesday and Thursday. But the temperatures to remain on the mild side there, with high temperatures in the 20s. With some sunshine Wednesday and Thursday.
Good stuff. Thanks. Okay, next in sports, back to Calgary for more on the Minnesotans in the Olympics. And the Gopher basketball team is out of the cellar. Joe Schmidt has sports next.
What happens when Mills Fleet Farm lowers are already everyday low prices?
You get bargains so hot, we're calling them sizzling winter buys.
Fleet Farm is your tax time supply headquarters.
The Casio Mini Printing Calculator with AC/DC operation is only $18.49.
Choose from assorted size neat envelopes at just $2 for 88 cents.
Or get the security of the Sentry Cadet Safe. It's UL fire tested with combination deadbolt locks for just $96.99.
So get the savings while they're hot.
Turn up the heat with sizzling winter buys now at Mills Fleet Farm.
At LensCrafters, skilled laboratory technicians using the latest equipment mean we can custom grind your exact prescription in about 1 hour. Listen.
They put new lenses in my old frames in about 55 minutes.
They were able to make a tool that's required to make my glasses.
I got my glasses in 47 minutes.
Very professional people.
LensCrafters, quality eyeglasses in about an hour. Burnsville Center, Southdale Center, Lomans Plaza, and now in Crystal Shopping Center, next to Target.
The law offices of Meshbesher, Singer, and Spence, a good firm to have on your side if you've been hurt in an accident.
We take the mystery out of seeing a lawyer. I'm Ron Meshbesher, and our policy with accident cases is simple. You can see us for free, and we're not paid unless we win your claim and you collect. If you've been injured in an accident and need someone to look out for your best interest, we'd like to help. I invite you to call us.
Meshbesher, Singer, and Spence, on your side.
The latest Sports Illustrated Olympic version calls Calgary the party town. What are we doing here?
I don't know. That's why I think they decided to leave me here.
They knew this guy'd be tearing this place apart.
Boy, I would have known that.
Check it out.
Well, speaking of Calgary, there's the games begin tonight. The opening ceremonies were this afternoon. Tonight, it's hockey time. Mark Curtis joins us live. Mark, kind of a bunny tonight for the U.S. Olympic hockey team, Austria.
Yeah, Joey, I was just going to say this town is tailor-made for you. We're going to try and save some of the partying for you. Maybe you can pop up towards the end of the games. Hopefully by now all of you are beginning to get a feeling of just how exciting it's been up here today with the opening ceremonies. A tremendous day for all of the athletes. But as we reported to you last night, the U.S. hockey team did not take part. They were across town eating their pregame meal. At least the food was good. This is De Guido's restaurant, twice voted best Italian food in Calgary. It's small, but very authentic. Probably the perfect setting for a pregame meal. All right, we're back here in the kitchen of De Guido's now, and this is Guido. He's the head man here. And what are you cooking for the team today?
We're going to have some light food, like a chicken parmigiana and veal, all kinds of veal and lots of pasta. And it's going to be all light, I guess so. You know,
this is all high-energy food to help them for tonight?
For the players, yeah. It's going to be a full meal deal.
And Guido, how much food altogether have you prepared for the team, for all these hungry guys?
Lots.
The idea was to have the players eat and then watch the opening ceremonies on TV. Now understand that it's not that they wanted to miss them. Opening ceremonies are the chance of a lifetime. But these guys have to play tonight, and so really had no choice in the matter.
If we took part in the ceremonies and then all of a sudden it cost us a game, we'd be really kicking ourselves for that. It seems funny that games have to be played before, during. I don't know why we can't have an opening ceremony and then have the game start, but it's not up to me. I just coach.
The greatest thrill I had was being in those ceremonies because nobody expected us to win, so the highlight was that opening and that start. So I think they miss it a little, but the game is important tonight.
Right before they left, the players were presented with this cake especially made for Team USA. All right, no pun intended, but the icing on the cake would be a win by the hockey team tonight. We'll have all the details of that coming up for you at 10. We'll hear from some of the Minnesota players on that team. Right now, Joe, can you believe this? It's starting to snow out here. Boy, did we stick our foot in our mouths last night.
All right, we'll stay out of that snow. Good news for Gopher basketball fans. The Gopher basketball team, which has spent more time in the cellar than Ernest and Julio Gallo, but the Gophers are now out of the basement after winning their second Big Ten game of the week this afternoon at Williams Arena. Monday it was Wisconsin. Today it was Northwestern. The Gophers look like a different team from the one that lost to Illinois by 36 on Thursday. That's Kevin Lynch. What a game he had. He had 14 points, nailing the three-pointer there. The Gophers had 5 players in double figures. Ray Gaffney had 12. He misses here, but Richard Coffey there for the tip-in. Coffey had 15. Northwestern held Willie Burton scoreless in the first half, but he let it go for a 48-point second half by scoring 13 points in the last 20 minutes. The Gophers led by 6 at the half. They got up by 20, and they won it 82-67. It was their third win in the Big Ten this season. Last year, they only won 2.
I just basically passed the ball. In the second half, they were concerned more with the other team because they see I wasn't scoring. So the second half, eventually they had to start checking the other guys, or they would, that was going to be real trouble. So that opened up things for me.
We're reaching our goal. We want to beat last year's record. Our goal is to win 4 or 5 games in Big Ten. We feel like we have a chance to win that many ball games.
The Gophers are now off until Wednesday night when they host the Wolverines of Michigan. This one will not be easy. The Wolves whipped up on Bobby Knight and his Indiana Hoosiers today. Watch the play here by Gary Grant. He led the way with 24. His teammate Glenn Rice added 23 as Michigan just overpowered Indiana, 92-72. The 20th win of the year for Michigan. Elsewhere, Oklahoma over Kansas State. Missouri upset UNLV, and Syracuse loses to Georgetown. Gopher hockey team will play tonight, and the Stars will be at Quebec. So it's a big night for hockey for Minnesota. And let's head her back up north to Mark and Wendy.
All right, thanks, Joe. You know, there is one Olympic event that has been captivating Canadians for a long, long time, young and old. We will tell you all about that event as the 1988 Winter Olympic Games continue. We'll be right back.
Jenny, your pancakes are ready.
I didn't know you made pancakes, Mrs. Butterworth.
I made them from my very own mix.
I can't wait. But I forgot a fork. Hi, I'm Mrs. Butterworth. My two syrups are delicious.
Because they're both made with grade A butter.
She really talks.
And they pour on very thick and rich.
Mrs. Butterworth's, regular and light.
If you're a brown bag kind of guy, you know, brown bag lunch, you know the deal. You got tuna and tuna, maybe it's salami, maybe tuna. Now, if this kind of leaves you cold, Hardee's has created something sure to win you over. A special brown bag with a nice hot meal like our thick, juicy bacon cheeseburger, large fries, and a medium drink, just $2.69. The brown bag special at Hardee's, where we're out to win you over. Hey, who does your hair? You want to have lunch?
Convenience stores are popping up everywhere, and they all seem to be alike, small and limited, except one, Tom Thumb. Tom Thumb has more than other convenience stores, so you can pick up almost anything. How does that make the other guys feel? Downright embarrassed.
Get a 12-pack of Coke products or Sprite for just $2.99. Delicious Bernatello's Pizza, $2.89. And Deli Express Chuck Wagon sandwiches, 2 for $1 this week at Tom Thumb.
We are back via Newstar Vive, bringing you live coverage of the Winter Olympic Games, which start today in Calgary. Welcome, everybody, to Calgary. You know, for many Canadians, there is one Olympic event that started a long time ago, and it's a very special Olympic event. It's not necessarily preparation that has made this such a long event in the coming, but it's something else. It started way back in November, and Kate Smith is going to tell us all about that. Kate?
Wendy, you know, the Olympic torch relay wound its way all across Canada on its journey from Greece here to the host city of Calgary. 6,500 Canadians helped carry that torch more than 11,000 miles. And photographer Denny Bear and I caught up with some very average Calgarians who became a part of the 1988 torch relay team. This may not be an Olympic event, but just try telling these runners that. The Olympic torch relay has made 6,500 Canadians official athletes, if only for a kilometer or so. For 88 days, the torch relay has traveled back roads through all 10 Canadian provinces, from Newfoundland to the Northwest Territories and on to Calgary. Often, there are no cheering crowds along the route. At times, the only audience, the curious. Canadians have been urged to share the flame, and they're doing just that. 6 million applications came in for the 6,500 running positions. Some people sent in hundreds.
When I get tired, I switch. You gotta go around here. It's pretty tiring for my arm.
Davin Layton filled out 45 applications for the torch run. His friend Kyle Nissen sent in 25. When both of the boys were chosen, their training began.
Let's walk it out a little. Walk it out so we can get more energy.
Carrying the 4-pound torch for a kilometer, about a half a mile, can be pretty heavy for an 8-year-old. This practice torch helps give the boys a taste of the real thing, and they say it's worth a little hard work.
I thought about I get a chance to be part of the Olympics. Might be a little nervous.
Why?
A lot of people watching me.
Kyle's father says he's not always quite so shy about it.
He's been excited since he found out.
all the time whenever he meets someone. That's one of the first things he greets them with is, I'm running in the torch. So.
All across Canada, people have been coming together to share an Olympic tradition, a piece of history they can touch for an instant. They are children, housewives, business professionals, even former athletes. But for a few moments, they all become part of the Olympic dream.
It's hard for people, I guess, in Newfoundland and New Brunswick to understand, you know, what's going on 3,000 miles away in Calgary. But when the torch goes through the town they're living in, well, then they can feel a part of it, I guess.
One of the most amazing things was watching the torch go through downtown today. Wendy, I'm sure you felt this. People walk out and just touch it for an instant and light their own flame from it. That's what makes everyone here in Calgary feel a part of the Olympics.
That's very
Wendy?
true. Thanks, Kate. You know, Mark, I was downtown today when the torch passed by, and it was sort of like, to compare it for you Minnesotans, it was sort of like the feeling of the World Series outside the Metrodome. It was that much excitement.
I just caught a glimpse of it as we were heading over to the restaurant to do the hockey team, but it was absolutely gorgeous. Tonight at 10, what do you got?
Well, there's a big celebration in downtown Calgary for the public opening ceremonies.
And also Team USA versus Austria, all the highlights. Marcus, let's go back to you.
Okay, we'll see you guys at 10 o'clock, and we hope you will join us tonight at 10 o'clock. Enjoy your Saturday.
Trial for $1 million, a landmark legal case that could affect every church in America. We'll have that story in a moment. But first, a headline across the country. Mario Cuomo, the governor of New York, because the word in all political circles is, despite his disavows, Governor Cuomo could be a serious candidate for the presidency of the United States. These words slipped out on national television. Cuomo, quote, if forces would, by accident or whatever, say, Mario, this is your obligation, you must do it, of course I would do it, unquote. Earlier this week, candidate Jesse Jackson swept aside the other declared Democratic hopefuls in our national phone poll. Cuomo was not among them. So tonight, in an extension of that poll, we want to measure Governor Cuomo's popularity against the frontrunner Jackson. So here are the numbers to vote. For Governor Mario Cuomo, the phone number is 1-900-210-1900. 1-900-210-1900. And to vote for the Reverend Jesse Jackson, phone 1-900-210-1909. 1-900-210-1909. We'll give you those numbers again during tonight's program. Each call costs 50 cents, and the polls will remain open for your calling until 4 p.m. Monday Eastern Time. And we'll have those results on Monday night. Now, we'll be back in a moment with that epic story of a young man's suicide and his fundamentalist church on trial.
Went over to the family gravesite, knelt down, and said my Our Fathers and my Hail Marys. That's our way. And swore to my father before Almighty God I would find out what happened to his grandson.
When I heard I could get this washer and dryer in my home for less than $20, I didn't pass it up. I called Remco, the rent-to-own store. Remco's got TVs, stereos, VCRs, furniture, you name it, and you can get it today. And Remco has prices made to fit your budget. Like both of these for under $20 a week. It's high time I got a deal like this. Believe it. Call Remco first. It's all within your reach at Remco.
Let Wix Furniture's holiday sale add holiday glamour and hospitality to your home with quality-built, highly affordable sofas in a wide selection of styles and covers. Your choice now just $549.98, a savings of $150 during our holiday sale. Unexpected quality, spectacular savings with no payments or finance charges until February with a Wix charge.
Wix, surprisingly Wix.
This winter game memory is brought to you by True Value Hardware Stores.
February of 1980. The streets of Lake Placid are red, white, and blue after Team USA beats the powerful Soviet hockey team. On the heels of a surprise win over Czechoslovakia, the stunning upset of the Russians puts the U.S. in position to win the gold medal.
The game against the Czechs was a coach's dream. Tonight, we bettered it.
13 Minnesotans share in the miracle on ice as the U.S. beats Finland 4-2 for the gold.
True Value Hardware, it's more than a name.
The Master Mechanic cordless power screwdriver runs at 130 RPM, and you can use it anywhere to drive or remove a variety of screws. Plus, the charging